Between the years of 2002 and 2010, Intamin built 14 different hydraulic launch roller coasters all across the world, and these are my predictions for the future of each of those rides. Storm Runner, Hershey Park, featuring a 150-foot tall top hat, a 180-foot drop, and speeds of 75 miles an hour, Storm Runner hands down is one of the best launch coasters in the entire world. And the good news for this coaster is you never really hear about it being closed down for an extended period of time. However, if you look closely, there is enough room for a spike, and that is if Hershey wanted to get crazy with it. They could remodify the dual station to have the launch go right through it and then offer a 200-foot tall vertical spike. Now, full disclosure, this is not a prediction because I do think Storm Runner is safe just the way it is right now. I'm just sharing with you that a spike is possible if Hershey wanted to do that. So you might be asking yourself why this topic is even necessary, and Top Thrill 2 is the reason why this is. Zamperla is currently reimagining the second tallest and fastest coaster in North America, Top Thrill Dragster, which was my personal favorite Intamin hydraulic launch coaster. So now that we know Intamin has competition, I really hope they're prepared to make a run at coming up with ideas for these parks, that way they can themselves reimagine their own ride at some point. Heading to Australia for Superman Escape, located at Warner Bros. Movie World. Opening in 2005, this was the best coaster in Australia until the same park added their Mach Hypercoaster DC rivals. Superman offers a very compact layout, as you can see, so there's really no room here if the park wanted to have Zamperla extend the layout in any way. And with this coaster being more reliable than most, I think it's safer now, and if anything, since Superman Escape is so iconic for this beautiful park, I could see the hydraulic launch get removed in favor of either Intamin or Zamperla, replacing the launch with LSMs. And that's if they can get the train up to the same speed. But here's an interesting idea. Intamin does now offer the vertical launch LSMs. So even if the main launch track cannot get the train up to speed, it would still make it over the 131-foot tall top hat with the help of the vertical launch. The Intamin Xcelerator coaster was a ride type that I really wish was still getting built, but sadly Intamin no longer offers this model, which honestly is very understandable. Norway's Speed Monster. While this coaster might be one of the smaller accelerator coasters out there, it does offer a great layout and the beautiful Norwegian loop element that is wrapped around the escalators where people enter and exit the park. I do not see this coaster getting removed anytime soon because from what I've heard, this ride is pretty reliable and the park takes really good care of it. So I think it's safe all the way around. And here's the thing, not all coasters out there are having the same type of issues. Parks will always blame the manufacturer, but the way I look at it is a little bit differently. Each park has a maintenance budget, and if the park is not willing to spend the appropriate amount of money on a ride, then that is usually when there are issues. So in my opinion, parks should be held accountable more than they are when there is a troublesome ride. Except for one ride, Son of Beast. That ride was a POS from the start. Rita, Alton Towers. Since Rita offers a max height of only 68 feet tall due to the height restrictions for the park, it's obvious that there will not be any extensions of this layout. This is fine because if anything, this layout will be the easiest to convert to an LSM launch since the tallest point of the coaster is so low. Matugani, Lost Island Theme Park. Sadly, with the direction this park has gone since its first day of operation in 2022, I don't see the park being around much longer, and I will predict that this coaster will get scrapped when the park does close. I hate saying it, but this park needs some marketing help big time. So in 2024, you better try to make it out to the Lost Island because I predict that 2025 will not be a good year for this park, unfortunately. Formula Rossa, Ferrari World Abu Dhabi. One thing that has always annoyed me with this coaster is as soon as the train reaches the top speed of 149 miles an hour, which happens to be the fastest of any coaster in the world, you hit a trim brake as the train ascends to the tallest point of the coaster, a 170-foot tall hill. Like, really? Is that trim even necessary? While extending this layout with the spike is not possible, I do think this coaster will keep the hydraulic launch for a very long time. I mean, after all, this is currently the world's fastest roller coaster. Again, you never hear any issues about this coaster breaking down all the time. Funny, isn't it? Skycar, Mysterious Island. Now, most of you have never even heard or seen this coaster or park before, and that's totally okay, because I honestly did not know much about this park or ride either. But this coaster in China features a very cool but short layout for an Intamin hydraulic launch coaster. Now, the good news is, if the park felt the need to extend the layout with the spike, as you can see, there's plenty of room. But the big question is it necessary? And I do not think it is. Heading to Germany for Desert Race, located at Heide Park Resort. Did you know that this is just about a near clone of Rita at Alton Towers? And just like that coaster, there really is no need for a spike for this model, and if anything, they could just replace the launch. I find it oddly funny that every coaster that I've mentioned so far has seen very little downtime and not many issues at all. But this next one is definitely a problem child. Xcelerator Knott's Berry Farm. Ever since the rumors about the spike being added to Dragster, people started speculating that maybe Cedar Fair will have Zamperla Reimagine Xcelerator. And while I would love to see that happen, there is sadly no room for a spike at the rear of the station, as you can see here. Unless Knott's opted to remove the 300-foot tall Supreme Scream, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. There is no room for this to work. However, with that said, I could still see Zamperla come in and add an LSM launch that could make the coaster more reliable. There would be room for this since the train is launching directly out of the station. I sadly predict that the days of Xcelerator accelerating with the hydraulic launch are very, very numbered. And it would not surprise me at all if Cedar Fair decides to just rip this coaster out of the park altogether in favor of something new. And at the moment, Knott's has quite a bit of coaster drama surrounding it. Stealth Thorpe Park. This is rather an intriguing situation because with Thorpe Park finally investing in a much needed coaster when they open Hyperia in 2024, if the park felt like it needed to improve stealth in any way, there's a lot of ways they could do so. Hyperia, the park's new mock hypercoaster, looks absolutely insane and will pave the way for a very promising future for Thorpe Park. As for stealth, you can clearly see that there's a ton of room around stealth for a spike. Again, if the park wanted to go that route. Now here's a legit cool idea. What if Thorpe Park decided to add a twisted 225-foot tall spike to stealth? That sensation of twisting up the spike in reverse and then going backwards forward through it is a crazy enough idea that if any park would do it, it could definitely be Thorpe Park. Now before I talk about the last Xcelerator coaster on this list, I would love to know what are your predictions for the coasters that I just mentioned. Be sure to let me know in the comments. Also, if you're not already a theme park prediction subscriber, then I really hope you consider becoming my newest one so you won't miss out on an upcoming video. Now, let's talk about the coaster that looks down on all the other ones on this list. Literally. Kingda Ka, Six Flags Great Adventure. I am so intrigued when it comes to the future of this coaster, because clearly Six Flags cannot remove it due to the park's freefall tower, Zumanjaro, is attached to the 456-foot tall top hat. So either Six Flags will always have Ka operated with the hydraulic launch, which I really hope is the case, or they have Intamin or Zamperla come out and Frankenstein this coaster. Now I recently created a video where I went in depth just how Six Flags Great Adventure could do this, so you definitely want to check that out, and you can find the link for it in the description of this video. Trust me, you do not want to miss how Six Flags could add the world's largest vertical spike. The whole Kingda Ka situation is very intriguing, especially with Six Flags now spending more money on coasters than they have in almost 20 years. The future of Six Flags Great Adventure does include Kingda Ka, but will it be the Ka that we all love and know today? Or will it be a new reimagined version of the coaster? If you are like me and you love Intamin coasters, then you do not want to miss out on this video you see here, where I rank the top 10 Intamin coasters in the entire world. I am very excited for the future of Intamin as a company, and I look forward to riding new coasters from them very soon. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and of course, keep riding coasters.